Yo, so it's no doubt that the nightclub is easily the best business to own in GTA Online. You could leave the game running while you go do something else and come back to hella money ready to be sold. But how do we do that? Well, in this video, I'm gonna be showing y'all how to make millions with the nightclub in GTA Online. Before we jump straight into making money with the nightclub, there's a couple of things we gotta cover first, starting with which nightclub you should buy. The two at the top of the city are gonna be the best options for you as they're hella close to the highway and they're also much closer to where you'll go for some of the missions. I personally own the downtown Vinewood location, which is gonna cost you close to $1.7 million. That one and the West Vinewood locations are super close to one another and only differ in price by like $30,000, so it's totally up to you which one you prefer. As for the property upgrades, the only one that's going to help make you money is the storage upgrade. For this top section right here, the more floors you add, the more goods you'll be able to produce in your warehouse, which we'll go over later on. But as for the garage section below it, as well as the 5 other upgrades, don't even bother unless you've got hella money to blow. For the garage section of the storage upgrade, you get 1 car space for free upon purchasing the nightclub, but for each additional floor that you add, you get 10 more spaces, meaning you can add up to a total of 31 cars to your nightclub. As for the other 5 upgrades, they're all just cosmetic upgrades, so they won't benefit you other than making your nightclub look nicer. Now, before you can do anything business related with a nightclub, you're gonna need to set it up. If you come on over to your nightclub's office right here and log into your computer, it's gonna prompt you to do 2 setup missions. You're literally just picking up your staff for one of them and then you're stealing supplies for the second one. Super easy. After you complete those 2 setup missions, you're gonna go through a cutscene, which is then gonna have you do 1 more setup mission to pick up your DJ. You're gonna drive over to the airport, follow his plane over to Sandy Shores, then just take him back and you're done with that. Now, one more thing we gotta go over real quick are the business upgrades. If you come on over to your computer once again, log in and come on down to the upgrades tab. I'm gonna highly recommend getting both the equipment upgrade and the staff upgrade. Now, the equipment upgrade costs a little over $1.4 million and it's gonna go ahead and speed up the production of your warehouse goods being made. And as we'll go over later on in the video, the nightclub's warehouse is a very good way to make money in GTA Online. So even though this costs almost as much as the nightclub itself, trust me, make sure you buy this upgrade. The second upgrade for the nightclub is the staff upgrade, and this is gonna cost you $475,000. What this is gonna do is reduce your nightclub's popularity from dropping as fast. And as we're gonna go over in just a little bit, your nightclub's popularity is gonna play a big role in making you money with this business. So trust me, you're definitely gonna wanna cop this upgrade as well once you have enough. Now, notice how I only recommended the first 2 upgrades. Yeah, that's for a reason. The third upgrade is the security upgrade, and it's meant to prevent your nightclub from getting raided. But even before I got the security upgrade, I only got raided like once or twice. So do yourself a favor and save the $700,000 this would normally cost you for something else. Now that we've got all that covered and out of the way, let's jump into the real reason why you guys clicked on this video. The first way to make money with your nightclub is through its wall safe right over here. With this wall safe, you can make up to $50,000 every in-game day. Just in case you don't know what an in-game day is, that's equivalent to 48 minutes in real life time. And the nightclub's wall safe maxes out at $250,000, so after just 5 in-game days, you're gonna be loaded with some pretty good cash. But just like with anything in life, you gotta put in some work first to make it work. But hold up, this part's pretty easy, trust me. If you look at the bottom right of your screen, you'll see this popularity bar right here. Your goal with it is to keep it full at all times. By keeping it full, that's how you're gonna make that $50,000 every in-game day. And of course, the lower your nightclub's popularity is, the less money your safe is gonna make every in-game day. But now, let's go over the different methods you can use to keep that popularity up. The first way to keep your nightclub popularity up is by logging into your computer and doing a promote club mission. These are really easy, honestly. These missions shouldn't take you more than like 5 minutes to do, and like I said, they're pretty easy. Like one of them just has you go to 8 different locations around Los Santos and put up some posters, or you might have to go pick up a celebrity and bring them back to your nightclub. Overall, these are really simple to complete and won't take you too long. Another way to keep your nightclub popularity up is by once again logging onto your computer, going to the resident DJ tab, and booking another DJ. Now, when you book a new DJ for the first time, it's gonna cost you $100,000, but it'll fill up your popularity bar completely, so this is great for when your popularity is really low, or even when it's completely low. But once you've already booked that DJ once, it'll only cost you $10,000 to rebook them, and it won't completely fill up your bar this time. Instead, it'll only fill it up by around 1 bar. The third way, and my personal favorite way to keep your nightclub popularity up, is through Marcel security jobs. So whenever you enter your nightclub, as long as your popularity is above 0%, you're gonna get a text from Marcel letting you know about a person inside. It's either gonna be about someone causing some trouble within the nightclub, or it's gonna be about a VIP member who needs a ride somewhere. If it's about a troublemaker, all you need to do is find them on the blue blip on your map, press right on your D-pad, and an animation of you and Marcel throwing them out is gonna play. This literally takes you a couple of seconds and you'll even make $10,000 on top of that. But if that text message from Marcel is about a VIP member, it's a similar situation where you gotta go up to them and press right on your D-pad, but instead of kicking them out, you'll have to drive them somewhere. And while this little side mission is pretty easy, it can get kinda annoying, mainly because you have to drive at a normal speed or else you fail the mission and the car catches on fire. But thanks to a comment I got on one of my shorts recently, I learned how to never get the VIP mission ever again. So shout out to Easy for this one, what an absolute G. Before you enter your nightclub, make sure you're not registered as a CEO and go into passive mode. And that's pretty much it. Just walk into your nightclub how you normally would and Marcel will only let you know about a troublemaker. I'm praying that Rockstar never patches this. The best part about about these Marcel side missions is that once you do one, just walk right back into your nightclub and he'll send you another one. So you could bring that popularity up from 0 in like 2 minutes thanks to this method. Now, the absolute best way to make money with your nightclub is through the warehouse right below it. Now, in order to set it up, you're gonna wanna go to your computer once again and come on down to the warehouse management tab. In order to make the most profit possible, you're gonna wanna hire all 5 of these technicians right here. The first one is given you for free upon purchasing your nightclub, but you'll have to pay to hire the other 4 technicians. The second technician is gonna cost you $141,000. The third technician is gonna cost you $184,500. The fourth technician is gonna cost you $240,500, and then the fifth and final technician is gonna cost you $312,000. Now, once you've hired them all, you're gonna want to assign each one to a certain type of good. As you can see right here, there are 7 different types of goods and only 5 technicians, meaning that you'll have to pick 5 types of goods. We're gonna go over that, but I want you guys to also keep in mind that each of these goods requires you to own another business within GTA Online, so let's go over all that. For cargo and shipments, you'll need to own either a CEO office or a hangar. This one is gonna make you $8,570 per hour. For sporting goods, you'll need to own a bunker, and this one is gonna make you $7,500 per hour. For South American imports, you'll need to own a coke lockup, and this one is gonna make you $13,500 per hour. For pharmaceutical research, you'll need to own a Walter White lab, and this one is gonna make you $11,500 per hour. For organic produce, you'll need to own a green farm, and this is gonna make you $6,075 per hour. For printing and copying, you'll need to own a document forgery office, and this is gonna make you $5,400 per hour. And lastly, for cash creation, you'll need to own a counterfeit cash factory, and this is gonna make you $9,450 per hour. So just from those prices, you already know to not even bother with organic produce or printing and copying. Also, pro tip in GTA Online, do not ever buy a document forgery office. You're welcome. If you remember earlier when we were going over purchasing the nightclub, I said to buy all 5 of the warehouse floors if you can afford it. What this is gonna do is allow you to hold even more warehouse goods and of course make even more money with the nightclub. While that's a lot of investing you gotta do for this part of the nightclub, this is 100% worth it. With all 5 of my goods filled, I'm looking at a max payout of almost $1.7 million. This right here is hands down the best way to make passive income within GTA Online, no questions asked. Something to keep in mind though is that Tony is always gonna take 10% of the total as a laundering fee unless the total is at least $1 million or over. This is because 10% of $1 million is $100,000 and Tony will never take more than $100,000 during these sales, so I'd recommend waiting until you have at least $1 million worth of goods to sell. Me personally, I just wait until my warehouse is completely full and that's when I sell, which also explains why I didn't go over the special goods section right here. This basically groups together some of your goods into a bundle to sell for a slightly higher price, but once again, I personally just wait until my warehouse is full then sell it all at once. And before you start wondering why it's taking so long to fill up, this takes a while. Like most of the goods take around 20 hours to fill up, while something like sporting goods for example takes over 60, so just be patient. Now if you wanted to help speed things up, you could open up your phone, call Johan, and request nightclub goods. In this, you pretty much act as a nightclub technician yourself and go collect some goods to bring back to the nightclub's warehouse. These are honestly really easy to complete and not only help you fill up your warehouse a tiny bit, but also reward you with about $10,000 each time, which is alright, nothing special, but it's something I guess. Me personally though, I'd much rather just let it build up on its own and go grind some other stuff, but hey, the option is there for you if you're interested in that. Now, one thing that makes the nightclub even better is that no matter how much product you're selling, you're only ever going to be in one vehicle for it, and that vehicle is going to depend on the number of units you're selling. If you're selling up to 90 units of product, you'll be using the Speedo Custom, which is given you for free upon purchasing your nightclub. If you're selling between 91 and 180 units of product, you'll be using the Mule Custom, which you're going to have to buy on Warstock for up to around $95,000. And if you're selling any more units than 180, you'll be using the Pounder Custom, which you'll also have to buy on Warstock for up to $320,000. These 3 vehicles are going to be stored within the first floor of your nightclub warehouse and can actually be upgraded to make them much faster, as well as adding armor and weapons to them. Once again, this could get pretty pricey, but considering this is the best business in the game, I'd say this is worth it. And since we're on the topic of vehicles, the 5th floor of the nightclub's warehouse is where you can store your Terrobyte if you own one. Now, while the Terrobyte does have some pretty decent ways of making money with it, as well as helping out with some of your other businesses, the main reason you're going to want it is because it'll store your Oppressor Mark II. Not only store it, but it's the only place where you can add missiles to it, so yeah. For anyone who's new to GTA Online, this is, at least in my opinion, the best vehicle for grinding hands down, so eventually you are going to want to buy this. Now, as for the sell missions themselves, they're pretty straightforward. Like I said, you only have to use one vehicle for them and you just drop off the goods. Sometimes you may have to search the area for the buyer, or you might even have to protect the buyer from enemies coming for them, but overall, they're pretty straightforward. And if you happen to sell in a public lobby, you're going to make even more money than you normally would for selling in an invite-only lobby. It's going to depend heavily on the amount of goods you're selling and especially based on the number of players in your lobby. But of course, you're more at risk of getting griefed in a public lobby, so that's totally up to you whether you want to sell in a public lobby or an invite-only lobby. While you let your nightclub warehouse build up, you're more than likely going to want to be grinding something else. Another great business in GTA Online is the agency, which can also make you hella money. If that sounds interesting, then you'll definitely want to click on the video on screen right now.